Hey tribe, hey, happy Sunday. Just out. I did my A1A drive. Man, just driving just makes me feel so good. And now I still want to be around the water more, so I was like, man, let me go see my friends, dolphins, all that. And just drove from place to place. I found a new place where the water is also, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, you all know, tribe, know that the weekends are my most sensitive spiritual place. And over the years, as I've come to understand that, then it's just okay, what do I do with that? And at one point, it's so many people when I'm just out, and then start talking to too many people, or talking to my sister, and it's just so much energy. Do you all remember that time Prince gave an interview, or did they put it on Instagram or something, where they showed that he was actually levitating? It's like that kind of energy. And what I've learned from other masters that have helped me get to this point, by when I say help, it's they allow me to ask all the questions, and then they basically give me that answer, which is straight, no chaser, which is what I need. These women don't give you airy fairy stuff. Queen Afua, Sister Myra, all of those women like that. Diamond 8, Aquarius Maximus, just all the different people that have, allowed me to take up any of their time to talk to them about, the questions. Mama Bear, the Atlanta tribe, the Alabama tribe, just all those different groups of women in there who I got to ask, those questions. And no, I'm not leaving the brothers out, never leaving the brothers out. They're just as important. Well, you know me, no one's more important than yourself. Oh, those waves are coming in. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the wake. That's right. That's the wake. I'm just like, wait a minute. We know we're on Davis Island, just flooded. Let's not get excited. But anyway, so not so much, just like Sister Myra puts it, she's like, it's male, female. We're talking about energy. We're not talking about the physical woman or man or any of that. We're just talking about the way that a person expresses their energy. So, for me, I'm just right now in this post just appreciating the women who did that for me, because hey, it just came up. However, this post is about DMX, and it's interesting because when I did a session with Sister Myra, DMX came up in the session, and I was just like, what about brother? I mean, of course, love DMX from back in the day, and all that kind of stuff like that. However, it's to me, what I saw from my view of it, and listening to him talk, it's just he was just so caught up in his mom, that he couldn't see anything else that was beautiful and wonderful. And inevitably, I may be saying that word wrong, the amount of pain with his oldest son. You guys probably saw him on Ileana Van Zant, Fix My Life, and then this documentary that I just finished watching on HBO Cinemax, they had made up. So is his name Zion or Xavier or something like that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. You all can look it up. He knows who he is, and he knows who I'm talking about. So that part of the transformation that I saw from him on Ileana and him now, of course, was just so beautiful. And how he found his own way, and the fact that what he did for himself, and this is just the outside looking in, and just through my own experiences that I'm drawing a straight line to. However, we all know that that's not the line, that's just a line. So a line that I'm sharing from my own experience, and it's how he was able to draw that line, that his father really, to the way that it was seen to outside draw the line so that his mother wasn't more important, than himself. And I'm just laughing because, man, we really didn't know what we had back in the day. The Triangle, the group that I used to be a part of, that's no more now. However, for over a decade or so, just these kind of conversations that come up now, it's just like, man, that's where we were at. We always were like, it's not about titles. It's not about any of that mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, job, this, that, whatever. Nothing can violate, your space of who you are. And it's like having that amount of love for anything. Up here they come. They're running. They're running. They're running. They're running. They're running. They're running. They're going fast. No, thank you. Anyway, having that level of love and stuff like that, it's like, I guess, I didn't see what Sister Mara was saying when she brought up DMX, and I'm like, other than, you all know how I feel about the titles and the title of mom, and you all know that the first person in the mirror is myself, and just how, man, I just should not even have that title. No way, no how, no nothing should I have the title of mom. And it's like, I had it because I had a baby. That's it. It wasn't shit else to go with it. I mean, the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, the financial. I didn't have that. And not only didn't I have that, I had nothing in me at the time that would cause me to seek out those things so that I could be a whole person nurturing another whole person, and that's where it's just like your mom may never say that to you. Like my kids can tell you, like if they come on for an interview, one of my top interviews, like I told you guys, is with my middle daughter, and it's like if they told you that it's just no release from that pain, because even when I tried to release it, I'm just like, oh my God, I was just trash. I was just such a fuck up for like, I hold to it for those first 10 years of your life, which is just like, man. And it's like, if you never, ever want to deal with me again, then shoot, that's, you never dealing with me again is even letting me off easy. Because I'm telling you, it's just like, it was just no excuse. And then it was a choice. And then you look and you're like, dang, so my mom chose to treat me bad. My mom chose it. Like when you start peeling back the layers, it's just the most incredible amount of pain. Even when your mother says, hey, I just wasn't it, and then that's painful, because then it traps you again and again and again. And that's why, like, when I kept peeling back the layers, that started with not so much my mom, it started with my family. I just was the disruptive person. My cousin Andy, when we talked a couple of weeks ago, it may have been maybe a couple of months ago, and we were talking about old times. He's like, damn, you were a terrorist, cousin. We call each other cousin. He's like, you were a terrorist. I'm like, not a terrorist. I'm like, dude, you were bad as me. He's like, nah, I wasn't. I was bad because it was always him and I. Our names were always being called out. And I have to give it to my uncle who passed away a few years ago. Shout out to you, Uncle. I know you're out there in the universe doing your thing. Konnichiwa, I think that is. And then my auntie who's still alive, my closest aunt, our bond. She's the difference in my life. And they just, I never got yelled at by them. They just called my name in a certain way that broke your heart because that disappointment. And it's like, however, I just kept rolling with it and kept rolling with it and kept rolling with it, just being, that person who I was. And it's like I wanted to be a part of the family. However, and oh man, so I was listening to Goop today. Amina, a therapist who's on there, she's on, she has a thing out of Atlanta. You guys can go look her up, or you can DM me about it. But anyway, her part was really wonderful. And it was just like, just one of the other therapists who was on there, they were saying that, you know, she was saying how her family was at the same time, the tremendous amount of pain she was in as a child. And it's funny because it reminds me of my little sister. You know, that level of pain that woman was talking about. She's like, we were an intellectual family, we were this kind of family, educated, intellectual, you know, logical and all that. And she's like, I had to know how everything happened, you know, that I wasn't being manipulated in any kind of way when she found her spiritual release, kind of thing. And so it's just like that depth of pain that for whatever reason, for whatever family that you're in, and she didn't go into detail either. She just said, you know, as a child, I just had this level of pain. And so for me too, it was just like, now from what I know, is the pain of just not knowing who you are. And then because of the way we've been socialized, that pain's been allowed to be spread out on other people. And it's like, it was the sadness that is there in DMX. I think he has his ex-wife Tashira is on tour now with her new book, and she was just saying that he just could not get over the pain from his mom. And I'm like, you all know, I'm just like, that's one of my things when I'm giving it to my children. I'm like, why? I told my middle daughter, why follow a fuck up? Why even care what a fuck up has done? Like, let that fuck up off the hook. You're following behind somebody who was so fucked up that the amount of responsibility they had as a mother, they couldn't even do. And you're gonna sit and hold your head and destroy your whole life and yourself over that. Like the world has to be bigger than that. So I think that's what anyone who comes to me and they're like, Gigi, I just need to talk. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna talk to you for a minute. But if it goes past that minute, then I got bedrooms, and you can go lay in one of those bedrooms, or you can go out on the lanai, or you can come down here, water. You can come to the water. You can sit on this bitch. I know it's not funny. It's funny because of the journey. So that's what I'm trying to pass on to. It's like you just gotta come to the decision that you matter more than that, you know. And that's what, when I kept digging and digging, it's like, fine, okay, it was my family, then it was this and that and this and that and all these things, and oh, you know, why didn't my mom love me? Why didn't this? Why didn't that? You know. And it's like, then when you start seeing that the choices that I've made in my own life are causing way more situations, I can't stop laughing, way more situations than any person who didn't love you or didn't do something that you wanted done. And I'm laughing also because Tribe, I put out some videos. You all know where I stood on love and everything else, and especially my Akashic Records thing. So it's so funny when it comes to it, and the things that I talk to about, you know, is love. And it's just, you have to just love yourself. I remember the first time it actually sunk in. I was in DC. It was like probably the late 90s, and someone had told me that I needed to love myself. And I'm talking about fighting mad, angry. God knows I can't fight. Well, okay, I can't. I can windmill with the best of my gaze. However, I can't fight. However, just mad. because I didn't understand what loving myself had to do with anything that I wanted. I wanted my family together. I wanted to raise my girls. I wanted to be in a good, all these good things. I wanted all these good things and none that I had. And it's like no one around me had those things to be able to get me to this point either. And then, like, I know there's some people, and who have it. I have my degree in psychology, and they tell you that 70% of the people who were abused don't go on to abuse. I don't know. I quote that all the time. It works for me. At the same time, I want to know what type of abuse are we talking about: mental, spiritual, physical, emotional, financial? Because most of the time when I'm looking at those numbers, I'm only thinking about physical abuse. However, there's all different kinds of abuses that take place, in a child's life. And so, but anyway, for the sake of today, I'm just going to stick with those numbers. So 70% don't go on to be abusive. It's only 30% that do. Shout out to my 30%ers. I'm one of the 30%. Forget dropping the ball. There was no ball. There's no words for people like me. None. Zip, zero. And I'm grateful that I can even be here today to just say that about myself. And then it's like seeing the other side. You know what I'm saying? It's like to be the author of so much pain in other people's lives, and then to walk it out. Like I have grandkids now, so it's just like you're walking out the whole thing. And I was talking to my first grandson, and I really appreciate him because he just talks straight, no chaser too. And it's like, even though it's about my daughter, and I have my daughter's back, like I have my daughter's back to the end. However, this is the carnage that she left behind, and all my grandson is saying, okay, Granny, here's the carnage that you being nothing to your own daughter. Your daughter was nothing to me, and now in real technicolor, we're having this conversation. And I'm like, yep, we are. And yep, that's true. And yep. What are you going to do now? What's going to be your legacy now? How now are you treating your brothers? What do your brothers get to see from you? What's going on with you? Knowing the information. See, it's like two things. It's like, for me, it's like when I hear some people talk who were aware, I was aware of myself. I always say 2 years old, could have been younger than that or whatever, but I always say 2 sounds like a good number. I was aware of myself on a spiritual level to where I shut myself down so this craziness couldn't touch me anymore. However, there's people who stayed present at that young age. They even know when they were in the crib, what's his name? The Talk That Sass guy, Brother Panic. He was aware of himself when he was in Pampers. He remembered that stuff. And so it's people who were able to sift through and sort through and navigate through without all the things that, turning into duplicates and worse of the people who were abusive to them and stuff like that. However, it's like, as you go along, if you didn't have a sense of yourself, wherever you do pick up a sense of yourself, and I guess that's what I'm here for. I have picked up a sense of myself. If you go back to my Instagram, if you go back to through my YouTubes, you'll see PhD and me. You'll see all those things. This past week was actually the birth of Blue Couch with Storm, February the 5th of 2019, and was it or 2020? Maybe in 2020. Anyway, so it's just like that sense of self, I don't even know where it was, and I don't know why I didn't have it. I don't know why I wasn't able to tap into it or reach into it or anything. However, over the past, since 2018, as I started becoming aware of the nature of people, then I got to see things like more in a full circle. And it became a part of my healing as I started to see the nature of people. Because I always just thought, I was bad, I was the bad one, I was the wrong one, and I always came at stuff from an angle like, I'm so bad and I'm so terrible, so I'm going to give people who probably shouldn't be given 1 second of my time, I'm going to give them time and have space for them, because I was such a fuck up and stuff like that, and I'm a fuck up in transition, like all of these things. That was like my part of my healing. However, as I healed and I started seeing the people around me, I'm like, you all did you all know you all are fucked up? Man, did you all know you all are hot messes? Like, I thought I was only hot mess. Jesus, I'm glad to be my hot mess and not your hot mess. Like, ooh, it was just eye-opening, and what it led to was me just releasing everyone from everything, because it just made no sense to just have that blame and that hate and that hurt and that pain and all those things like that. I was even watching the Luther Vandross documentary, and he was talking about how he uses food to cope how he used food to cope with that pain. And earlier in the week, I was also listening to Tim Ross, and he was interviewing a lady who was trafficked from the time she was 3 years old, and in just bad situations and stuff since she was 3. Her mother thought she was leaving her in safe situations with the neighbors as babysitters, and the neighbors were involved in trafficking. So it's like, you hear these people talk about the things they use. She used disassociation to handle all of these horrid things that that have happened. And then when you realize that okay, I gotta heal, I've caused my own self trauma by the choices that I've made. It's one thing to be like, I didn't choose this, it was put on me. However, when you get to that point, when you realize that you have done more to yourself than anyone or anything that you're claiming hurt you so gravely, trauma bonded and trauma and this and that, you've done worse. And you've done worse because at the moment that you became aware of yourself that you were hurting, you didn't seek out help. You went with the destruction. You went with the trauma. You went with all of that, knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously. As long as there's even one thought where you could have done something different, then that's where your life is. That's where your life is, And so that's the thing. It's like, man, these people are just people like me. My mom's a person like me. My dad's a person like me. My siblings, my aunts, my uncles, messed up bosses, job, like everyone's just like me, just trying to find their way. And they weren't meant to be gods. They weren't meant to be gods in my life where they created me. They weren't meant to be authors in my life where they could where I'm eating because I'm in so much pain from something they said or did or didn't do, or something I have or haven't, some expectation that I had of them that didn't work, and the pain that comes from all of that, I'm putting on another person. Because it's like, even when I'm talking to my daughters, we don't talk about that stuff so much anymore, because I started talking to them about stuff once each of them turned 18 years old, which I don't suggest anyone do. If you have anything to talk to your kids about go see a therapist and don't talk to them. You're going to make it worse. If your kids want to come talk to you, just do like Ileana Van Zandt says, zip it, let them talk, let them get it out. And, is it okay if I even say sorry? Because even saying sorry can make a person so upset. So it's like, whatever they need for that moment that's in line with you keeping your mouth shut, then do that, because they're going to have to find their way, and you're just one step along their way. If they go ahead and get it out the way like a Monopoly board, like, go ahead, you landed on this space, which is the mother space, You gotta blame me for any and everything. Yes, just be like, yes, I take that. Don't answer any of their questions. What did I do to deserve that? All this. They're gonna say all those things. You still have to stay quiet. And then if sorry is in your vocabulary, or is something that you can do, or something that they need, you can give them that sorry. And then you can even tell them that they never deserved it. Like my whole big thing for me was I didn't want my kids blaming themselves for the trifling way that I raised them. So that was like the only thing I had in my mind. I didn't want my kids to say, they blame me. I'm the reason why no, you didn't. I just was a fucked up person, and I don't even know how the stars lined up for you to even be my child. I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know that part of the journey, and that's what makes it worse when you talk to someone who has hurt you so bad, is they don't even know why they hurt you, and it just turns into toxic waters. That's why I'm saying to just listen that person out. If they need to, it's cathartic for them, just let them get it out. And if it becomes unhealthy, you can excuse yourself. They're going to find their way to the right people to talk to. If they really want to be healed, if they really want their life to be different, they're going to find their way. Let me see how much time. Okay, a little bit. So, but anyway, it's like in peeling back all those layers, I had to let everyone off the hook, and I wasn't letting myself off the hook. I understood that people need me to be on the hook. I don't have to be on the hook that way. I don't have to participate in the people's lives that I hurt by allowing them to hurt me. It's just like, if you're going to find your answer, if your answer is just going to be doing something to me like I did to you, then I don't live in that space. I don't live in that space. That's not my choice. So now what I will help you with is that you're making the same choice, conscious or unconscious, that I made when I was a fucked up mother. Like this story could go on forever. The blame game, the shame game, the guilt game, the this thing, that man, I like, that's why it's like, you weren't the one who created me. I have zero time to spend with you. I'm going after the one who created me, which is myself. I created myself. So in creating myself, then that's where I'm going for. Oh, there's a dolphin. Look at that. I thought that's what it was. Can you all see it? It's a dolphin. There it is. Thank you. Just bringing that energy up. That's so awesome when they swim right by you. It's beautiful. Okay, let me get back. So it's like that energy and everything that you have to take yourself, and you have to find your way. And that's the thing. It's like you will, excuse me. Excuse me. It's like I created myself, and it's understandable why people don't want to be gods and stuff like that, and don't want to take that level of responsibility. For me, I came about taking that level of responsibility because just nothing else made sense. It's like, this is my story, and I created this story for myself, because in whatever kind of way my spirit is getting something from that, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. So in my mind, as I took responsibility for myself and the choices that I made, and not running from them, and then also not participating in unhealthy conversations with those people that I hurt, it's just like at the moment, sorry guys, my allergies. At the moment that you can come to me and tell me that I'm the person who hurt you and destroyed your life and did XYZ, XYZ, it's just like, thank you, that's great, okay, all right, thank you for sharing that with me. And then it's up to that person to say what they want or what they need, or well, are you going to apologize to me? I'm like, if you need an apology, I can apologize to you. And then you're just like, you're letting that energy just flow through you, because if you get into it with them, or have anything, or take on unrealistic responsibility from them, then that's where they're going to sit, versus being like, okay, move on to the next square, move on to the next square of the game. Move on to the next square of your life. Move on to the next space that you're supposed to be in. That's what this journey is about. It's not about you sitting up under me, because I'm telling you, okay, I'm not going to say anything smart ass, because that doesn't help either. It doesn't help, I know. And that's the thing, when you have to really just do this stuff yourself, it's just like nothing helps. You think that, oh, if this person just acknowledges that they hurt me and that I'm hurt, if this person can just tell me this is why I did this and hurt you, and oh, I didn't mean to hurt you, this was happening. It's like nothing makes any sense, because I'm telling you, no matter how much you talk to a person, it just never makes any sense that a person who brought you into this world can hurt you at those grave, deep levels. It just doesn't. And you will drive yourself mad and crazy and accidentally do some mad and crazy shit if you try to wrap your head around it. Do any of you all remember the Star Trek movie, Khan? And so when they finally captured some of Captain Kirk's people, there was this worm that so they had crashed on the planet and got left there. Starfleet didn't come pick them up. So when they finally got to Starfleet, got to them, I don't remember whatever kind of way, but anyway, he told them how they didn't know, Khan was saying they didn't know about this worm, and it wraps you around the thing in your ear until it drives you mad. And it's like, that's what happens. You drive yourself mad. You will. And then it's like the answer just isn't there. The answer that you think is there isn't with the person who hurt you. It's not with getting a sorry or an explanation. It's not with, even taking a letter and writing everything down and burning it or burying it or whatever. It's not with any of those things. If you need those things, okay. I'm just here to tell you, it just does nothing for you. It leaves something there. It's like at the point that you realize someone has hurt you, start your journey. And it's not with them. Start your journey with yourself. Okay, what am I looking for because this person hurt me? What is missing because this person hurt me? Why do I feel like I even need anything? Like why whoever created me said I needed a mom, or I needed a dad, or I needed a sister, or I needed a bike, or I needed kindness, or I needed love. Whatever said that? Who created that craziness? Why would you ever need something? Why would something create you where the things you're interacting with had no ability to fulfill what you needed, and now you're left broken, scarred, tormented, haunted, everything? It makes no sense, does it? That's what causes me to laugh, because it just makes no sense. It's like, Dad, the cheat code puts you in bondage. So that's why it's like, man, I can't go to someone external, because if whoever created me, if you don't believe it's yourself, if whoever created you had no goddamn sense, because they would have put in the whatever externally that you're looking for, they would have put it in them to know that you were looking for them. It's like a GPS that's no GPS. You go into the GPS and set your destination, and you get to your destination. Your destination is like, why are you coming to me? I'm not a destination. It's like, but you're in the GPS. And they're like, let me see. They grab your phone and look, and they're like, what? Well, goddamn, I'm in there. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm in there. I don't know why I'm in there. You see the circle that starts happening? Sister Margaret says we do spirals, up. Not this circle that just keeps you in place, And the thing of it is like, when I'm sharing my story, I'm sharing it in two places. I'm sharing it with the fact that I'm sharing my transition. At the same time, I'm thinking about those 70%. I'm part of the 30%. I'm thinking about the 70%. I'm like, man, if 70% of people didn't choose this or didn't do this, then even though I'm part of the 30%, I can get to the 70% attributes. Like, I don't have to stay here. I'm not stuck here. I don't have to stay in this same playground of those people who had traumatic, hurtful lives, and now I'm just gonna stay in it and create more traumatic, hurtful lives. I don't have to. And so it's like releasing yourself all the way. You're free falling. So now who created you? Well, God. Well, you know what? God just needs to show up right here. Because I'm telling you, even if God sat down, it's like, what's up, Storm? What's up, God? I wouldn't believe it. I'm not believing anything outside of myself. I'm just going to ride with myself, and that's good enough. That's just good enough. It's like whoever set anything in motion, like I'm saying, like if my kids came to me and they're just like, looking in the mirror, and I can see some things on me that may look like you. However, I just don't believe that shit. And I don't believe that trifling ass woman would be my mother. Okay. So I've decided I want a DNA test. Bet. You paying? And then I would just do it. So that's why when people just get all scary and everything and all that fear, if you do believe in God, you got to think about something. If God is God and He showed us how to be the parent, then if I'm not mad that my child questions me, I would question me too. Hell, I thought about getting a DNA test with my mother. I'm not going to do it, but I'm saying I thought about it because I'm just like, it's no way in hell. And it's just like, then go check. It wouldn't bother me for my child to check and see who they are and did they actually come from me. They were present at the moment that they were born, coming out my body. However, they don't know that. I don't know you like that. Like, what's wrong with your child coming to you and say, I don't know you like that? I don't. My whole life I've been told that you're it. Tag. However, I've seen things about you and experienced things with you that I just can't, it doesn't line up with who I know my truth is. So I need to start checking. So if the first place my child needs to check is a DNA test, so what? Damn. What's so wrong with your child looking to see? That's what you want them to do, especially when you've been half-ass, piss poor, less than trash. Whew. I know. I don't know any other race. I just know the black race. Well, of course, I'm Cherokee also. However, what I've had my experiences with are black. And I'm just saying, man, can black women just let their children go? Let them free. Is that the Amistad thing? Give it us free? Can the black women just do that? Because Jesus Christ just ruining your children with all that mental, spiritual, emotional manipulation, like they have to stay connected to you. My children do not have to stay connected to me. My children do not have to experience me as their mother when I wasn't one. If my children decide to experience me, then they can experience me whatever kind of way they want to that's healthy. And I'm good for that. So I just don't like you're still causing the same problem, because it's like you want someone to still be connected to you that didn't treat you right, and you want them to do something that you couldn't do, which is get over whatever caused you to be crazy to treat anyone so horribly. And you want the things you can't have, because those aren't the constant. Your choices are not love, care, to be taken care of in your old age and everything like that. It's not that, because you didn't give that to them so that that could be the consequence of love. It's not. You were trash and you get trash, and it's like you don't want trash, so you want to mentally, spiritually, emotionally manipulate the people so that you don't have to face the consequences of your actions. So that's why it's like it's like everyone's holding hands. Like when you were in grade school playing a game, can everyone just drop everyone's hands? Like, just drop everyone's hands and now leave the circle. Like, you're not stuck in that circle where you have to stay with people who haven't treated you right. You're not judging them. You're just saying, for myself, I wouldn't treat myself that way. So I'm going to move over here. It's over 8 billion people on the planet. Let me go find my tribe. And while I'm in the midst of finding my tribe, while I'm in the midst of changing my energy so my tribe will now know that I exist, and my tribe will now want to be with me as I want to be with them. I'm not experiencing loneliness and this and that and heartache and this and that. I'm saying to myself that when I remember who I am, when I walk fully in who I am, when I realize I am my own truth, and that's okay, and that I'm willing to take I'm willing to take all that comes with being who I am. Like, I'm glad to be who I am. The good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad, the mad, the whatever that it is. I'm just good to be that. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay to learn who I am. I'm okay to admit my mistakes. I'm okay to no longer have the kind of relationships and friendships and connections and jobs and different things that I had before. Because that person who I was before, I mean, it was a lot going on with that person. I understand why people didn't want to be around me. That's healthy. It's like when you start to understand that pain. Oof, that's why love doesn't like me walking. Look at these things. I went to get up from my chair, from the bench. I can see it now. I called Love and I said, Love, I'm in the water. He was like, what'd I tell you? Come home and you aren't going to come get me. No, because I told you don't walk on that when we walk together. You almost fall. I know. But okay, let me get back with it. It's just, it's all about choice. And I'm telling you, so many days. I use my 3-day thing because that's where I eventually was able to get to. It's like my sister and I and stuff. It's like if I'm in this bed more than 3 days, haven't brushed my teeth, haven't taken a shower, haven't gotten up, haven't done any of that, then okay, it's time for intervention. Go ahead, call the ambulance, Baker Act, whatever. She's not like okay, I got you. However, I just give myself 3 days because it's funny too. It's funny now. It wasn't funny a long time ago when I was climbing out. However, it's just like you just gotta do it yourself. And I think that bringing back around, I'm getting ready to close out. I've been gone home for hours. I know. I love Love because he knows I love my A1A. It makes me feel much, much better. So anyway, when I think about that level of pain, and I think about DMX, if I was talking to him right now, I mean, it just, my mind, and it's just like on the addiction part, I'm with you. He was addicted to drugs. My addiction is food. And when the emotions and feelings and different things start coming up that I don't want to face, I'm facing them anyway, even though I'm stuffing a whole bag of chocolate chips down my throat. I'm still facing them. Everything is still there. So I get that. At the same time, it's like just seeing how beautiful DMX was, how gifted and talented and beautiful that he was. Okay, is whatever. That's my YouTube. When you see how all that is, it's just like, damn, damn. And yes, his 11 children, that's their journey. And that's another thing. It's like when you start saying you wish someone's still here, or you shouldn't be hurt because someone didn't love you or something didn't happen and whatever. And it's like you go on to cause your own hurt. It's like his mother could not see his hurt and pain, and he could not see his son's hurt and pain. He could not see all the women who he has made babies with hurt and pain. He couldn't do that. So it's like the same non-understanding that he had of his mother, that he was seeking that open wound. He left for an open wound for everyone, for the women who loved him, who he had babies with, for the children, for the ones who are much older now and grown and had their own children, down to the one that's like, I think the youngest one is 4 or 5 by now. And it's like, look what you did. So your life was tragic, and you didn't want your life anymore. You didn't want your life anymore for the sake of this story. You didn't want your life anymore, so you died on drugs because your mother didn't love you. And then you left 11 children the same way. You weren't available to them, just like your mother wasn't available to you. You see how it just gets so messy, and so, I mean, I'm telling you, just make your head blow off like on a cartoon. So that's why I'm saying, it's like, when you get to this point, instead of looking at a person, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, this happened, this is the way that I started my life out. The moment that you know that you started your life out a way that you didn't like, that's the moment that your journey begins. And the journey begins with yourself. The journey begins with yourself. That's the moment that you start digging into yourself. And you don't put it on other people. You don't look at what other people have, what they didn't do, what they didn't say, or whatever. Because I'm telling you, at every point, if you had the courage or wasting your time to go to another person and say, hey, have I hurt you? Hey, have I said? And they'll tell you, yes, you talked to me in a way that I didn't like to be talked. You've hurt me. You've done this. You've done this. And you can say, oh, I thought I'm not like my mom. But you're like something else that's still hurtful to someone. And that's the importance of being with your tribe. It's like, continue to massage yourself, continue to peel back your layers, continue to do the work on yourself, because when you get to your tribe is going to have all those attributes and things and stuff that you need for your healing and your growth, in the way that you could do it in a way that you can get to where you want to go. And it's okay to tribe skip. I tribe skip. I didn't know that's what it was in the beginning. It's like, I still love everyone in my tribe. It's just that as I kept peeling back my layers, then those connections with those people weren't naturally there. And there's nothing wrong with that. The world tries to make it, society, the way we're socialized, tries to make it seem like it's something wrong with that, because you don't speak to someone, you don't see someone, you don't interact with someone anymore. Like it's a negative thing, instead of like it's a positive thing. It's like, as you grow and understand yourself, as you see the things that are happening in your life, as you're understanding different choices that you've made for yourself, and if those choices were good or bad or this or that, they have nothing to do with another person. It's just like, that doesn't suit me. And when you come across people who love themselves, like, I'm glad to not be people's choices. I'm glad to not be this and that and this and that, because I want people to be where they're supposed to be. If it's with me, then it's not all this friction and conflict and stuff going on. It's not even an issue when you have to tell me about myself, or I have to tell you about yourself, because we're speaking the same language. We're able to say, you know what? It's okay for you to speak to me. I'm just not there right now. And then be like, okay, great. Well, I said it. So when you're ready, then let's work on it or talk about it or do whatever. We're just not going to do that. And you would be okay. You wouldn't be as hurt. You wouldn't be as traumatized. It wouldn't feel like it's such a rejection or indictment or a judgment. It wouldn't be all that. It would just be like, cool, because that's not who I want to be, the people that I love. I'm not interested in being someone who doesn't love the people who love me, or speaks harshly and all this to people who I love, or hurts people who I love, or people who I love, that they're doing stuff for me and being a part of my life at the expense of themselves. It's like, that's not love. That's selfishness. you know? And it's like, when you understand love, love isn't selfish. And then all those other things that go along with it, it's like, if a person isn't mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially in a good place themselves, how much can they give or do to you? So it's like, my resources, my mental, spiritual, emotional, financial, mental stability isn't something for me to give away to you, because you haven't done the work to give it to yourself. Because you haven't done the work to understand that maybe we shouldn't be around each other. Maybe I'm supposed to live in Texas, but I'm in Florida. Maybe I'm supposed to, be at another job. Maybe I'm supposed to be with another person. Maybe this or that. It's like, love allows you to explore those things without getting upset and bothered. I don't want anyone in my life who's not supposed to be in here. Why? Because they're doing something against themselves. And if you don't love yourself to no longer do stuff against yourself, then what the hell are you going to do to me? Damn. I mean, you're liable to do anything. Those people don't wind up in people's basements for no reason.